Do you want to have firm legs and feel light from the morning without spending hours at the gym? Today, I'm revealing my secret breakfast that will change the way you start your day. I'm Dr. Emma, a wellness and health specialist with over 20 years of experience helping older adults stay active and full of vitality. In this video, I'll show you how to prepare a simple, delicious, and powerful breakfast that strengthens your legs, boosts circulation, and fights fluid retention so you feel much better when walking and moving. Before we start, let me know in the comments where you're watching this video from so I can see how far it's reached. Now, imagine a fresh morning in my kitchen, where, as the sun barely lights the room, I prepare a recipe that has accompanied me for years in my daily routine. It's not just any breakfast. It's a precise combination of ingredients that work together to improve muscle mass and provide steady energy throughout the day. First, I cook oats with plant-based milk. It can be almond, oat, or coconut for a smooth and nutritious base that hydrates and energizes without feeling heavy. Then, I add chia seeds, those little wonders rich in fiber and antioxidants, perfect for activating circulation and keeping the digestive system balanced. To this, I add a generous handful of berries, packed with vitamin C and anti-inflammatory compounds that, besides giving flavor, help reduce the swelling we often feel in our legs. To finish, I prepare a warm ginger and lemon infusion, a drink that not only improves digestion but also promotes detoxification and speeds up metabolism right from the start. The best part is that this breakfast only takes 5 minutes to make, and the benefits are real. Firmer muscles, a feeling of lightness, and a noticeable improvement in circulation. Day after day, your legs will thank you, and that energy will stay with you long past dawn. If you want me to share more tips and advice to stay active, healthy, and strong enough to live life to the fullest, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Now I'd love to know, what's your favorite breakfast to start the day right? Leave it in the comments, and we'll keep the conversation going. Remember that taking care of your body begins with what you choose to put on your plate every morning. See you in the next video. The first thing I do is cook a cup of oats in a pot with plant-based milk. It can be almond, oat, or coconut, depending on your taste or what you have on hand. The idea here is to cook the oats slowly so they become creamy, soft, and not too liquid. While the oats are cooking, I take the opportunity to prepare a ginger and lemon infusion. I only need a few thin slices of fresh ginger, which I boil in water along with the juice of half a lemon. This tea not only wakes up the body, but also gives a little energy boost and helps the digestive system work better early on. When the oats are ready, I let them rest for a few minutes to achieve even more of that texture I love, creamy but substantial. Then I add a spoonful of chia seeds. These little wonders swell slightly when they come into contact with the oats and milk, providing fiber that creates a feeling of fullness and helps improve circulation, which is exactly what we want for legs that need to feel light and firm. The next step is to add a generous handful of red berries, fresh or frozen, such as blackberries, raspberries, or blueberries. Not only do they give a delicious sweet flavor and a touch of freshness, but they also add antioxidants that fight cellular wear and help keep blood vessels elastic and strong. While preparing all this, I like to think about what this small breakfast is doing for my body. Each ingredient is working to increase muscle mass and reduce that annoying feeling of swelling that often appears in the legs after sitting too long or simply due to age. Doing this routine in the morning has helped me feel more vitality throughout the day, as if my body is gratefully responding to the nourishment it receives, activating circulation and gradually strengthening those key muscles to keep me active and confident with every step. Sometimes, while I take these ingredients and mix them, I remember some of my older patients who told me how they felt tired, with heavy or swollen legs. That sensation goes beyond the physical. It affects mood and confidence. That's why, more than a recipe, I like to think of this breakfast as a small self-care ritual that connects us with our bodies and reminds us that we can do a lot for ourselves with just small daily changes. I want those who try it to understand that it's not about a strict diet or a miracle cure, but a practice that, day after day, improves quality of life. And the best part is that it's so simple that no one has an excuse not to do it. The most important thing, besides preparing and consuming this breakfast, is turning this moment into a space of connection and awareness, where we feel how every bite encourages us to move, take care of ourselves, and love our bodies. Because when you start the day like this, with intention and care, everything changes. Imagine how your legs feel after a few weeks of enjoying this routine: firmer, less heavy, light, and full of energy to keep going without complaints or quick fatigue. That is exactly what I aim to share with you, something real, proven, and kind to help you not only improve physically, but also feel that you can give your body everything it needs to stay vital. There is no need for great sacrifices or complications. Sometimes, the magic lies in the simplicity of cooked oats, some seeds, a few berries, and a warm infusion that, together, do much more than we imagine. And now, as I say goodbye for today, I want to leave you with a question that has kept me going during these years of work and learning. What if the secret to feeling stronger and lighter were right in those small decisions we make every morning? It's not the big formulas or complicated tricks, but those simple moments we decide to give ourselves. Think about it, because the way you start your days can transform not only your legs, but your whole life. Are you willing to try it? Once the berries are well incorporated, with their intense color and fresh aroma, the last thing I do is sit down and calmly enjoy this breakfast. It's not just about eating quickly to move on to the next task of the day. It's about giving myself that space, that moment of respect and affection towards myself. I like to take a little time to breathe deeply, savor each spoonful, and think about what I am putting into my body. This not only feeds my muscles and circulation, but also my mind and mood. It's as if that small attention to detail translates into a gentle but steady energy that accompanies me throughout the morning, making my legs feel light, firm, and ready to move effortlessly. Throughout my years of experience, I have seen how many people underestimate the importance of breakfast, thinking that anything will do, or that the essential thing is just to be full so as not to feel hungry later. But the truth is that breakfast is much more than that. It is the first signal we give the body to get it going, the spark that initiates vital processes like blood circulation, muscle metabolism, and toxin elimination. That is why I commit to making every bite of this creamy oatmeal, with its seeds and fruits, a gift that activates those mechanisms we want to enhance in our legs. There is also something special when you incorporate natural and minimally processed ingredients that connect you with the earth and the seasons, with the rhythm of life itself. Oatmeal is a complex carbohydrate that releases energy gradually, avoiding highs and lows and abrupt fatigue. Chia seeds provide that extra dose of fiber and omega-3 fatty acids, which strengthen the heart and, in turn, improve peripheral circulation. And the berries, loaded with antioxidants, are like little protectors that prevent inflammation and keep the walls of our veins flexible and healthy. If we add the infusion of ginger and lemon to this, we not only boost digestion, but also stimulate circulation from stomach to feet, reducing that heavy feeling many of us know. When I practice this routine every morning, I notice that there is more than just an immediate physical benefit. There is a subtle change in the way I walk, in how my muscles react, and in the confidence with which I move. It's as if those legs I once felt tired and a bit stiff slowly wake up, strengthen, and remind me that they are capable of supporting me, of carrying me wherever I want to go with safety and without pain. This breakfast is not a miracle remedy nor a quick fix, but a loving commitment to myself, which builds day by day and is reflected in my vitality and long-term well-being. Often, I share this breakfast in my workshops and conferences, and it moves me to see how many people regain enthusiasm and the desire to take care of themselves with something so simple and delicious. I like to think that in that mix of oatmeal, seeds, and berries there is a kind of little secret of strength and lightness that we can all discover and embrace. Because health, in the end, is not in complicated formulas nor extreme sacrifices, but in those gentle habits we integrate consciously and affectionately. So, when I finish my breakfast, I feel that I have nourished not just my body, but also my essence. That I have done something real and valuable for myself. And I invite you to try it, to add intention to those mornings, to gift yourself that moment that can change how you feel your legs and your life. Because it is not just a breakfast, it is the beginning of deep and consistent self-care that you deserve. Now I ask you, if this simple combination can begin to transform the strength and lightness of your legs, what other small gestures could you incorporate to feel more vital and whole every day? The invitation is open, and the decision, as always, is in your hands. Ready for that change. But besides this breakfast, there are small details that complement the care of our legs and that, throughout the day, can make a big difference. For example, walking a little after each meal, even if it's just 10 minutes, helps activate circulation and avoid that feeling of heaviness that can appear when we remain seated for a long time. I also recommend that, when you are at home or at work, you try to take breaks to gently stretch your legs, elevating them if possible, to facilitate venous return and minimize inflammation. These are simple gestures that, combined, create a deeper state of well-being. I remember a patient who, after incorporating this routine, told me that not only did she feel her legs firmer, but she had regained the confidence to return to activities she had previously avoided for fear of pain or fatigue. That made me think about how powerful daily care is and how small changes can open doors we never even imagined. The combination of a nutritious breakfast with conscious movements and adequate rests creates a rhythm that balances body and mind, making each step firmer and each day a little lighter. Sometimes, it's hard to believe that something as simple as a mix of oats, chia, and berries can have such a profound impact. But the body has its own wisdom, and when we give it what it needs, it responds with health, energy, and vitality. It's not about seeking magical solutions or complicated formulas, but about listening to, caring for, and respecting every part of ourselves with patience and love. It's like learning to dance with our body, understanding its timing and respecting its cycles, and that breakfast is the first note in that soft and steady melody. And here's what's truly beautiful. This breakfast is a moment for you to connect with yourself beyond the daily rush, to plant a clear intention of well-being from the very start of the day. Imagine beginning each morning gifting yourself that moment of mindful attention, where every spoonful is an act of self-love and lasting care. That feeling reflects not only in the body, but in how you face the world, with renewed energy and a more conscious presence. It's that seed that, day by day, grows firm and strong, transforming not only your legs but your way of living. It's a simple path, but full of meaning, where what matters is not perfection but consistency and the intention with which we choose to take care of ourselves. Because when we understand that every small gesture counts, when we put love into the things we do, we begin to build authentic well-being that lasts beyond the moment. So, while I invite you to try this recipe, I want you to remember that you are taking the first step toward a more loving and conscious relationship with yourself. And if there's one thing I've learned over these years, it's that this first step is always the most powerful. It doesn't matter if it's just a spoonful of oats or 5 minutes of pause. What matters is that you do it with the intention of nourishing and honoring your body. Think about how your day would be if every morning you gifted yourself that small act of care. You will see that, slowly, your strength, lightness, and vitality will begin to bloom from the inside out. And that transformation, although it may seem silent, has an impact that is felt in every movement, every breath, and every firm step you take toward a fuller life. Isn't that what we all want? That every day, from the moment we open our eyes, we can choose to feel good, light, and strong, ready to live with energy and joy. Are you willing to discover it? Because in the simplicity of this breakfast, in consistency and intention, lies the secret to transforming not only our legs but our whole life, and the thing is, over time, these little habits become that solid foundation that supports our health and well-being without us even realizing it. It's not about doing exhausting routines or following restrictive diets, but about giving space to those kind gestures towards our bodies, like someone who patiently and lovingly tends a garden. Every short walk after eating, every moment to stretch your legs when you get up, is an act of care that invites energy to circulate better, muscles to strengthen, and the mind to rest a bit from the fast pace of the day. Honestly, it may sound simple, but the sum of these everyday decisions has an enormous power to transform how we feel, to give us back that feeling of lightness and firmness that we often believe is lost with age or the passage of time. I imagine that when you hear this, you might think it's hard to find the time or that perhaps you won't notice a change immediately, and that's totally valid. That's why I insist on the beauty of consistency more than on perfection. It's not necessary to do everything perfectly or every day to the letter. It's enough to try, to be a little more present in those key moments, to give ourselves that pause we so deserve. Little by little, those minutes become a kind of pact with yourself, a gentle reminder that your body is a companion who deserves respect and simple but very powerful care. And the more you get used to listening to it and responding with love, the more it will be reflected in your physical and emotional health, in your energy levels, and in the sense of balance you seek to live better. I also want to invite you to observe how that care extends beyond physical activity or nutrition. When you start pampering yourself with little details, like that breakfast I suggested, you also improve your relationship with yourself. You become more aware of what you need and what is good for you. You allow yourself to be more patient with yourself, understanding that having firmer, lighter legs is not just an aesthetic ideal, but a reflection of health, self-love, and overall well-being. That compassionate and attentive look toward your body, that gesture of honoring it from breakfast to breaks for stretching, is what truly creates a deep and lasting change. Now, I invite you to close your eyes for a moment and imagine what your day would be like if each morning you began it with this clear intention: to nourish your body so it can support you with strength and lightness, to walk to activate every muscle, and to enjoy the breaks that revitalize your energy. Imagine how little by little, without even realizing it, you would regain that feeling of well-being that sometimes seems to slip away amid so many responsibilities and rushes. How wonderful it would be to wake up without heaviness in your legs, with energy that flows and pushes you to live fully. Can you feel it? That is the power of the sum of small acts done with love and consistency. And here comes the truly revealing part. This journey not only transforms your legs, but transforms your life. Because when you decide to take care of yourself from the simplest things, from the most everyday detail, you're creating a deep connection with yourself, an alliance that supports you beyond any difficulty. That strength, that lightness, that vitality you begin to cultivate are the fertile ground from which a life full of possibilities springs. That's why, more than a recipe or a habit, this breakfast and these little acts are an invitation to rediscover your inner power, that power that was there waiting to be awakened with the sweetness of consistency and intention. So now I ask you, what if this moment, right here and now, is the first step toward that transformation? Because you don't need more than that first act of self-love to start. The startling beauty of this secret is that it is in your hands, in your daily routine, in that little breakfast and those simple movements that can make each day lighter, stronger, and fuller of life. The step is right in front of you, ready to be taken. Are you willing to take it?